What's up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast. In this moment, we got to get into Richard Sherman as he has been arrested under the suspicion of driving while under the influence. Yes, this is undisputed former Seahawks Super Bowl champion at primetime NFL on Thursdays. Richard Sherman has his own podcast. He's doing real big things in life, but it may very well be over if this is true. Now, you all know Richard Sherman is no stranger to being in the headlines. You know, I've heard a few times about his, his attitude. He seems like he can be very hot-headed and stubborn at times from watching him on television. He has a very big personality, and he's a pretty educated guy, a great cornerback, played several years in the NFL, and this is wild because... And this is from the Seattle Times, right? So if this is from the Seattle Times, guys, guess what? This city ain't trying to be loyal to him at all. I mean, you would think a guy like this, right? Did so much for the city, probably was active in the community. Man, guess what? Seattle Times said, we don't care about that. We're just trying to make a beat. And this is exactly what we're about to do. We're about to get into this beat, this report. As it reports, former Seahawk Richard Sherman arrested for suspicion of DUI. Now, I'm going to be the first to say this. If this is true, Skip Bayless is most likely going to dismiss that ass. This Skip Bayless and possibly, or the owners at Undisputed, or he may lose that on top of losing his deal with Amazon Prime. Because we know that on Thursdays, that's his gig, and he was doing a phenomenal job with that. So let's actually dive into this report. And it says, a King County District Court judge found probable cause to charge former Seahawks star Richard Sherman for driving under the influence Saturday following his arrest earlier in the morning. And for this report to just now be leaking, because this was Saturday morning and it leaked a few hours ago, I wonder if they actually did find him under the influence. If we don't see him anytime next week on Undisputed, then we'll know that Undisputed or people at Fox are probably doing their investigations. Sherman is expected to have a court hearing Monday morning to address the conditions of his release from King County Jail, according to a statement from the prosecutor's office Saturday afternoon. Bail had not yet been set, in part because of the time of his arrest and booking. And as I suspected, 4:15 a.m. Wow. Record shows that Sherman, 35, was booked in the King County Jail about 4:51 a.m. Saturday. So obviously, man, this is not already sounding too good. As anybody up past midnight, come on, guys, you gotta know either if it's 4:51 a.m., either you were leaving the booty club or you were going to lift some weights. And if you was going to lift some weights, maybe your pre-workout was so strong you couldn't drive straight. Okay, this does not look good, especially if they arrest you under suspicion at this. Maybe you took some medicine, maybe you got a cold and you took some medicine and it had you drowsy on the way back home, probably dressed in nice clothes, looking like it's smelling like a DUI. So I don't know. Obviously, it looks like that's what it was though. So it goes on to say there were no other details immediately available of the circumstances surrounding his arrest, which occurred around Okay. So it occurred around 3:48, and he was booked at 3:51. So in between that time, they probably ran some type of DUI test, and through the process of booking and getting the fingerprints and the photo, maybe at 4:51, that's what it is insinuating the time that he was booked. But the actual arrest was 3:48 a.m., which is still not good because I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt since it was closer to 5 a.m. saying, hey, maybe he was going to work out. But 3:48, obviously, if they pulled you over, it probably was about 3:40-ish because they stay behind you reading your license and stuff like that. So it's just overall not a good look, man. And it goes on to say a spokesman for the King County Prosecutor's Office said nothing had been sent to their office yet, indicating if charges will be filed. Sherman previously was arrested for driving. Oh my goodness. Sherman previously was arrested for driving under the influence in 4 other misdemeanor charges following an incident in July of 2021. Oh man, here they go, leaking the past, man. You guys already know, especially if you are a brother. once you have a track record, anything you do, they are going to constantly bring up the past, kind of like what the chick Malika Andrew does on First Take ESPN. And this is not a good look, man. It says, under a deal reached with King County prosecutors in March 2022, that case was resolved when Sherman pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor offenses while admitting to another traffic infraction. Wow. First degree negligent driving, second degree criminal trespass, and speeding in a roadway construction zone. This guy Richard is a maniac. This explains why he is so. And a lot of football players, they have these type of problems. I don't know if it's because of the CTE or the constant hitting heads with helmets. They always come off very troubled, man. Like, we see a lot of great players, man, with they come into the league one way and they leave out a different way. And I think that deep down, even though Richard Sherman is a well-spoken guy, the education he brags on constantly, man, like, this guy makes boneheaded decisions, right? This is the same guy that sits on TV and talk about these same type of incidents going on with other people in the league, right? Like, isn't it crazy how people have a job where they can talk about people's personal life outside of sports, right? Because that's what Richard Sherman, Skip Bayless, and Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin get paid to do. And it's going to be crazy if they have a topic on this, right? We'll know, but knowing Skip Bayless, man, and Fox Sports, man, stuff like this is inexcusable. And I know Skip Bayless, man, he's going to bring the hammer down because he's all about his reputation and his face. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Richard Sherman had too much time off during this week's break or whatever they have going on over there at FS1, because I saw where Colin Coward was not on the air last week. But we're going to see, man, because this does not look good for the NFL Super Bowl champion, especially being leaked by Seattle Times. Anyway, it goes on to say he was placed under court supervision for 2 years in order to attend a DUI's victims panel. So Richard Sherman clearly has had a drinking past, right? Because you going to pretty much AA meetings, right? And DUI, panels and stuff like that, man. Like, the judge is sparing you, man, because it sounds like you could have been booked and thrown under the jail cell. So, man, like, Richard Sherman, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, people do crazy things out here, man. Like, I don't know if he still stays in Seattle or what. But if I'm him, man, like, you probably need to lay low, man. Just lay low. So based off this situation with his previous DUIs, here are some, key takeaways that, Richard Sherman spoke on during his, road to recovery. It goes on to say some help, some therapy, some tools that I didn't have before to address some things that you kind of let stack up in your mind. He said, you never have time to address them. It's not the right moment. It's not the right place in your life to deal with these emotions and feelings. It really forced me to step back and go ask for help and get the help I need, and to not be afraid and to be proud to ask it. And that has been remarkable how many other people have said they had the same issue, because you always feel like you're alone. You always feel like you're the one dealing with this. So this is from Richard Sherman pretty much during his, recovery from his DUI incidents, and his misdemeanor charges. It seems like Richard Sherman, from the way he talks on Undisputed, he's very bullheaded, but it seems to me from a distance, when I watch this guy on TV or via computer, wherever, my phone, I'm like, Richard Sherman always sounds angry. Like, maybe what he's saying about these emotions that he's pushing down, maybe something happened to him. Maybe he saw a lot of traumatizing things throughout life. Maybe something's going on with his family. But whatever it is, man, I'm going to hope and pray that Richard Sherman gets the help he needs. You guys weigh in on this topic and let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Skip Bayless is going to can that ass? Do you think that they'll give him a pass? Because we saw the incident with Michael Irvin of an accusation that he lost his job from ESPN. So in the back of my mind, I don't think that Richard Sherman may be on this show past this day. So you guys weigh in with your thoughts, topics, and concern. If you guys are rocking with the content, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you guys can continue to get the latest when I drop my sport media takes. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Charge the Game. Thank you guys so much for love and support. Like always, let me know how you charge the game. Peace.